So I was trying to improve on the prototype, the way that I got it in the lathe, because I was a little bit off center. So I was trying to figure out a way to make it more center. I was going through a couple ideas, and yeah, so I decided to go through my pen bushings and see if I could find a random way to make it work for this. So in one kit, since I have a 1/2 inch hole, the outer diameter of the biggest part of the bushing is 1/2 inch. So I'll just back them up, sort of spacing, so I got 2 points there. The side that you would be plugging into right there has to get stepped up to 11/16. So I have this bushing that's the size that'll hold it there. So I put it on this one. Then I'm going to put the 1/2 inch side down, and then the 1/2 inch side up on this one. So it's supported on the end, it's supported in the middle. Then even if those, they're not really mounted to anything, and as I add tension here, it's pushing the wood against this one. The other ones are kind of loose, so they could move around, but there's 2 points of contact that are at the 1/2 inch that are spaced out by, I didn't measure it, but I went to the widest spacing. So this I could put on the lathe and it'll work a lot better. So it looks like I am between 72 and 76 thousandths over an inch. I'm going to be drilling an inch circle, so I'm in the range, 75 thousandths over, and I'm within about 4 thousandths from one side to the other, except for the extreme ends, there's little tapers, but both ends at the end get cut off anyway. So for the parts, for all the parts that matter, I'm within 4 thousandths, so that's good, and I, am hopefully oversized right now. So this is the side that goes into the guitar, and this is the side where, the cable would go. That's the orientation of the wood right now. So if I take the tail off, all that I have past it is the nut itself. So I could take the whole mandrel out after I drill the hole. So without even taking it off all the bushings, I can do a test fit. I'm hoping the thing makes it in, but gets tight right away, that I could bring it back and I could just taper, the first half, test it, and just fit it like that as much as I can before even taking it off the mandrel. So that's the plan. All right, so I am committing to doing the Wenge insert for the output jack. I still haven't decided which side is going to get an access plate, whether I'm going to do the record on the front or do a plate on the back for the 2 knobs. I'm going to do this first, and then I get the exact blueprint of, the oval that will be, or ellipse that will be left by the Wenge insert. And then I'll decide how it would look on the front compared to how it would look on the back, and decide which one I want to go with. So for now, I'm just going to drill this out. Also, the thing that I'm doing a little different on my test piece, I did it with a 1-inch bit. I'm going to do this one 7/8. I've already started on the Wenge, the insert on the lathe, and I was a hair over an inch, and I just figured I was going to fit it afterwards, because the drill bit, it's not going to drill that exact number. So once it's drilled, I could just fit it, and I could always take a little bit off on the lathe. So going down to 7/8 is not a problem. So let's fire this thing up. So really, if I change my mind right now, I could just finish with a 1/2 inch hole and drill through and be able to just mount it like that. But nope, we're putting Wenge in there. So we got this hole as deep as I could do on the drill press. If you look here, you know, if I lower the bit at all, I'm going to be starting it in the wood. I don't want to do that. I'd rather start above and then go into it. And if we get this to where I maxed out, if you look at the chuck here compared to the body, if I can get an angle, I mean, I got a tiny air gap. I mean, it's probably a 32nd of an inch gap right in between here. So I can't get it lower with where the bit is without hitting the guitar, and I can't get the bit lower. So with a Forstner bit, it'll be easy to keep that straight at the end, and at the end there, I'll be through the cavity anyway, so if it gets a little sloppy, it won't matter as long as it gets glued. All of the part up here for the first, you know, easily 3/4 of an inch will be super solid before I get to that. So we will be looking good. So I'm not sure how this is going to work. So for testing, I'm going to try making basically a section of pickguard, but really it's just an access cover because it's only on one section, but on the early Van Halen guitars, it was a section of the pickguard. So he made some of the early ones out of records. So I'm going to try it over here. If everything works out, I'm going to see how it looks. I just don't know if it would last with the sticker in there, but I might want to have it where you could see maybe a couple of the song names in there. I guess try cutting it on the bandsaw first and then go to the belt sander to flush it to this and then bevel it off or something. I don't know. I've never worked with vinyl before, so this is the test. Alright, so just kind of cleaning this up a little bit around the edges. So basically I've got that. It'll be pretty cool. I mean, you could see the curve of the, you know, record, the curve of the recording, I guess. So I'm gonna have to drill 2 holes into this, and it would probably be more stable if I just leave it on here, figure out exactly where they gotta go, and drill it while it's attached to the wood. Less chance of any splintering. It cut beautifully, it sanded beautifully, but just to avoid a problem afterwards, plus it's a test piece anyway, so I'll just do that and see what happens, I guess. All right, so I took you through the process of how I did this jack hole. So, I mean, this is just sitting here right now, but you can see it with the pick guard. You can see the hole there. So, I mean, I pretty much explained it, you know, in the video how I did that, and I just thought that would be a cool thing. I've always been a fan of, you know, doing those jacks, you know, that go in like that. I'm always trying to step it up and do something different. You saw on the watch back on the Mocking a Mockingbird series, and you could see the way I did that one different. And it's, I don't know, it's a feature. I just like doing stuff with the output. So hope that was helpful, and you know inspires you to get good ideas. You know, don't necessarily look at this as a manual of how to do it this way, but just maybe it'll inspire you to come up with an idea of what you want to do with your output jack. And just, you know, it doesn't have to be just a plate that's sitting there or a hole that's on the side, you know, just do something different and make it cool. Thanks for watching.